Hi, and welcome to the Morning Moment. It's great to be with you. On Monday mornings during this sermon series, we're going through the way of Jesus. We're taking a passage of scripture that was in the service itself over the weekend, and on Monday mornings, I'm going to just take a minute to reflect on something we just didn't have time to take on during the sermon. So this morning, if you have a Bible, I really encourage you to grab it and go to Matthew chapter 10, and even pause this if you want to and go to it. Matthew chapter 10, Jesus says these rather astounding words. Anyone who loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. I find that really tough. A lot of people find that tough because Jesus is clearly making a distinction. In another passage, he says it even stronger. Whoever does not hate their mother, father, brother, sister, wife or husband, or even their own life, they cannot follow me. The idea of the emotion that Jesus is bringing into our relationship with him and making sure we have a priority. You know, as I've tried to understand this over the years, what seems to me is we think in terms of priorities as linear, that I love God and I love my spouse, then my family, and then maybe friends, and from there we go down through our lives. But I don't think we live life that way. I don't think we live life in a linear fashion in terms of our priorities of love. I think life is more about how we live from the center as opposed to this kind of linear list. Whereas he's not saying that don't love your spouse, that I'm not called to love D, but I'm called to love him first. And then as I love Christ, so I love D. So when I love D, as a follower of Christ, I'm empowered by his love for me and my love for him to give me the strength and the ability and the drive to be able to love her well. And I believe marriage is about as I love Christ, so I love D, and as D loves Christ, so she loves me. When two followers of Christ come together in marriage, that intimate bond, that one flesh, then we are called to love Christ through us, through each other, into children, into other relationships in our life. I think that's what Jesus is talking about here. When I love Christ, when I allow myself to give all of my life to him, not just my head and not just my hands, but my heart, then he changes me and his love empowers me to be able to love D with everything I have. But it's got to go in that direction. I can't just assume that as I love my family, that just means I love God. It doesn't work that way. It's the other way around. That I must love him first. And then as I love him, his love flows through me to those that I love. So consider who you love today. And may you love Jesus all the more so that he may give you his love for those that you love.